College, and she lived in Sacramento, California. So you have to imagine this elderly woman, especially at, for those times, she was late 80s, maybe early 90s, and she's obviously still thinking about Vassar. She's on the other side of the country, and she knows she can't make this journey all the way over for her reunion, but she also wanted to make sure everybody knew this particular story. So she wrote in this letter: to the associate alumni of Vassar College, the first class of Vassar in 1867 planted an ivy in the south corner of Main Hall. Our class of '68 scorned the lowly ivy and voted for a sturdy oak, which we planted a short distance from Main on the north side of the drive, so somewhere over there. I learned some years later our original tree did not live, but was replaced by the college gardener by a second one. Upon the morning of our class day, we had a rehearsal by the side of the excavation for our tree. With Bella Carter, I went to the library to procure the spade with which Mr. Matthew Vassar turned the first sod for Vassar College. So at that time, the library would have been in Maine. This was the whole college. That spade is now called the Golden Spade, and it is still in the college vault, and it is still taken out of the vault every year when it's now the sophomore year, that in the spring, that plants the class trees. Same spade. So we will go on to explain that she and her classmate Bella went to open this drawer. When they went into the room, Matthew Vassar was meeting with the trustees. It was the middle of a trustees meeting, and he stopped them and said, what are you doing? Apparently not rudely, but what are you doing? And they nervously replied that they were getting the special spade because they were rehearsing to plant their class tree. And he looked at them with approval. He expressed himself as both pleased and honored by our selection, and with a few words, wished us success and returned to his desk. We held our rehearsal, and upon returning to the college, meaning this building, with the spade, we were met at the entrance by the overwhelming news of Mr. Vassar's sudden death. It seemed he only pronounced the opening sentence of his address when he was fatally stricken with paralysis. Without a doubt, we two girls were the last students to converse with our honored founder. So, the last students to talk to Matthew Vassar were there to discuss planting trees on this campus. And it does turn out that he had begun his address to the trustees, and he was announcing his retirement. So he had a stroke and died. And so then she writes, we went through our class day and commencement ceremonies, but with a devastating sense of bereavement and loss. So there are so many layers to that.